second.
Yeah.
Yes. You said we had this open there, I'm gonna make the motion on number 9, item number 9.
Paul,
Yes.
Bart,
Yes.
Embark on this item number 10 for the central heat and air for the courthouse. I was just discussing, we won't be, if and when we do it, because I have no idea what it's gonna cost. We're not gonna be, we wouldn't have to run ductwork in the whole 9 yards. We could do it like the hospital, run, pipe it through what we have now. Just have to install a unit outside. Of course, we'd have to put the monitors, in each office, but and I don't know what it'd cost, because I have no experience in heating there. But I don't think it'd go hurt to go out for bids to see what it costs.
Were we heating everything, or air
Yeah, we would-
conditioning everything with windy units?
That window units would come out now, that everything would still come through these according to the drawing. I mean, it'd be a different system than that old one we have, in the basement. It might be doable, it might not, I don't know. And it's up to you.
you make a motion.
No, I'm not, I mean, I just, I know the pipes are busted in Roger's office, we're getting some mold in there, and it kinda stinks in there. It's a 50-year-old system. If we go out for bids, that don't mean we have to accept them. So
Well, I guess I have a problem with taking bids to see,
yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying, I'm not saying we're gonna do it, I mean, I don't know.
Is there any companies showing interest in doing it?
I'd say, man, it's just totally, see what it costs, type deal, to have to take right now. But I do know, like I said, we wouldn't be running any ductwork when we done such a day, they'd all be outside.
How can you put a system in without putting ductwork in?
According to the person that come up here, he's gonna run it through the system we have now. That's all I can tell you, Rick, because I'm not the heat and air, but they said the hospital done that.
Have you checked to see what it's gonna?
Plenum.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you know, the plenum that gathers everything where the air goes in, they should be able to go into that, but I don't know what condition it is. And what they need to fix.
Like I have no idea what the cost would be, I mean, till we go through the agenda and get an opportunity to talk to someone, I don't think we're ever gonna know.
You
But I
can,
would-
you can use your existing ductwork on an upgrade if it is sized right. That's all I
If
think.
it's what?
You can use your existing ductwork on anytime you replace your central heat and air unit. All you have to do is make adjustments to your plenum, whether it has to be bigger or smaller to compensate for the new units they're putting in. So that's pretty. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to do.
That's what that one guy said, you know, it's,
Does the ductwork need to be cleaned? It's set for so long.
well, it's not setting, I mean, there's air blowing through it now.
There's air.
But I mean, Sandra, I'm not a
I
heat
mean,
and air guy,
Yeah, I'm
so I
just
mean,
suggesting.
Where is the ductwork?
it's piped all through the walls
I
and
think they
stuff.
have ductwork.
No, I don't
I think
think,
you've got pipe, you've got,
well, I was calling that ductwork, yeah.
you're pumping liquid through, you don't have ductwork.
But we have the pipe, you know, coming in here.
Yeah, that won't work in central heat.
Is this a chill water system or is it just straight up central air conditioning?
Just chill water.
It's chill water?
Well, now we're talking about a heater now, we don't have central air, I mean, air conditioning.
Where's the air conditioning?
Up there.
Well, I have that, but I mean, most of them, I'm talking about the whole courthouse, you know, we have the units up there in the judge's room and courtroom and some of these offices, so.
First of all, I think you'd have to have a plan for people to bid off of, that they have nothing to bid off of until they draw up a,
Well, that's recognized, you know,
so you couldn't have bids, because, they wouldn't all be bidding on the same.
well, I,
Project.
that is true, Rick, but
You need to get a system drawn up, what,
we're gonna talk to somebody, cause I have no idea when I'm talking about central heat and air, even to draw something up or tell us what we can or can't do.
there's a set of plans drawn up on how it should be installed before you get a price on it.
What's wrong with what you have now? I mean, is it just because of the mold? Is that what you're worried about?
Well, that and, you know, every morning in the winter, Ron has to get here and bang on that system downstairs. You know, there have been a few times last winter when there was absolutely zero heat in Farley's office or well, upstairs. It just didn't work. And like I said, but I agree with Rick, we need some kind of plan, but until I just put it on the agenda because I don't want to be out talking about it, you know, without it being public knowledge. And we would have to let somebody look at it, tell us what we need.
You're gonna have to have an engineering firm design it first, and then go out for bids, and then that would have to be something that y'all approve. This is the type of system that we want, how we want it done, and then you'd have to go out for bids for it.
Well, we can do that, but I guess I better familiarize myself a little bit with Central Heat and Air. We'll just take no action on that. I'll get some kind of plan together.
They should, in the original engineering blueprints of this building, in the, there should be a layout of all the ductwork on how it's run, each location of every plenum, everything on it. It should be with the blueprints on it, of this building right here.
Okay.
Probably in the engineering section of it.
To use the heated and chilled water, and those would be air handlers, and just want to heat and feel out. That doesn't remove the humidity air conditioning does.
Anyway, it's something we'll look into.
But I'm sure there's some mechanical engineering companies that may give you an idea what you need to make it work.
So we'll look into it and try to get a plan together. All right, on item number 11, just a routine 6-month bid. I'll make a motion to go out for bid for gravel. So, yes. It's something we do every 6 months. Item number 12, same thing, 6-month bid. We do it every June, December, January, July, January. Discuss consider going out for bid for 6-month asphalt. That's actually carrying laid in place asphalt. Well, I'll tell you what we better do then. We do go out for bids for asphalt. But next week we better put on the agenda for laid in place asphalt.
Send more plastic, I mean.
Well, I mean,
You can't get it on the asphalt right down the street.
no. But, I was thinking, you know, we do buy like a truckload of asphalt every now and then to patch with, and then but the laid in place, you know, that's, but then
It's different, so I need to put it on this.
I'd put it on next week's agenda, put laid in place asphalt. And then also put in there using ODOT specs.
I said they bid it both ways, picked up and.
Yeah, the asphalt, the way this is worded, is if you drive to wherever and get asphalt, you know, we just get 15 ton of truck and go spread it. But the other way we've always bid is just a turnkey job. I mean, they bid it laid in place, they do the trucking, they do everything.
Is that for each district?
Yes, that's for
Would,
countywide.
would you not need to specify which district it is, because the distance in hauling is gonna make a difference in, where the material on your end of the county would be a different price than his end according to where it's coming from.
That is very true, but and I've talked to some contractors about that, and that's just the way that's the way most about all counties bid it, because the way I was told is like they bid it for $89 a ton laid in place. They usually bid it like the farthest away, but then you can always come down on your bid, but you can't go up. But I agree with that, Rick, that
I would say if you accepted their bid at a unit price, that they wouldn't drop it down.
it's been done before in certain situations. You're right, I mean, it's not commonly done, but it has been done.
I think what he's getting at, Paul, is you're not covering yourself. If I was an asphalt contractor and I bid that, and we done one job down here for $89, and we was 2 miles away from it, I'd tell you to forget it. I bid it for $89. And they could do that to you. I think that's, you need to try
Well, I
to
know,
cover
but
yourself on
if
it.
you want to answer your question,
Hypothetical. Yeah.
hypothetically or whatever, I understand what Rick's saying and the way that's usually been handled. We go out for 6 months bid laid in place asphalt. If you're not happy at that price, you can also bid the individual job. Now, you can do that and go through the whole bid process again. But I mean, I know what Rick's saying, and I agree with him. I agree with that. But it's hard to say where somebody's gonna asphalt,
Oh, yeah.
But if you name off the roads, then you're just bidding that one particular job. So I mean, that's just the way we've always done it. And if there's ever a problem, we'll just bid that one particular job, because you can always just do that.
So we're gonna hold up on 12 and put laid in place?
No, we're gonna go out on 12, because we usually always buy a load or two of asphalt in 6 months, one of the three. And that's when you drive, you know,
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
only way
you
we've
go to
done it.
JOBs or
I've
something,
never had
pick it up.
anything in place. We picked a lot up.
so I'll make the motion on item number 12.
Yeah, our shovel. Pothole.
Do it. I'm gonna make the motion on item number 12 for the waive bids for asphalt.
Okay. Road 12. Road 12, 15. Discussion.
About 32 miles. Well, from county line to county line, 32 or 35 miles. Yeah, it'd be darn close to that.
Falswood.
Yes.
Sorry.
That freight difference, at the worst, could be $6.40 a ton.
Yeah, there's,
Difference.
there could be definitely be a difference, but of course, when you're laying asphalt too, within that 6 months, 90% of the time, you're gonna know where the jobs are gonna be. Like my FEMA jobs, everybody that bids on this knows exactly where they're going. But if Clark or Marvin have one come up and nobody wants, you know, you could, it just takes 3 weeks to go out for bids, so when nobody's usually ready that quick anyway, so. On item number 13, I'm gonna make a motion, we go out for bids for road oils. Yes,
Yes.
and I guess we still have quite a few people send those bids to them. And what about the, you said you opened the bid, I didn't,
That's good for
I know I didn't see it on you.
I think I give you one paper.
I hope you didn't get me wrong.
Yeah, this does.
It's on, I think it's on the, I didn't put it on there at first, I think it's on the agenda outside.
Could you look at that, please, Johnny?
Well, you need the agenda.
The bid.
Opening bids, is that on there?
It's on there for 11 o'clock.
Is it on that one?
Should be, I think it's church.
Open bids for the floor.
Open bids for 11 o'clock on Lee Water Fire Extinguisher.
That's
I
it.
mean-
I mean, I believe you, I just wanna make sure I ain't missing anything.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't know, I didn't hear it. No, they're not on.
Okay, that's cool, Ken, it's on. So Randy, anybody, if y'all wanna go on with the jail committee till 11 o'clock, or do you wanna take a break till 11 and open bids and talk about the jail, or y'all wanna use this 15 minutes?
There's no need of wasting 15 minutes.
All right, well, go ahead on item number 14.
You got several people out in the hall.
Well-
Hey, Max.
We're starting the jail committee.
In the last meeting we had, Paul, you had said you were going to have the answers to whether or not the quarter cent was legal to pledge towards jail debt or not.
I said I would do my best, and then I did. I talked to Mr. Ward, and he said that he was gonna talk to the Attorney General, request comment from the Attorney General, and he said he would be getting back with us. But I did talk to Samantha at the Attorney General's office, and when you call the Attorney General's office, Samantha said, I'm not a lawyer, but when you ask a question, she will look up cases. And if there is a reference case she can go to, she will send you that. But there was not a reference on the 1/4% sales tax, you know, the situation we're in. So therefore, a county commissioner cannot ask the Attorney General for an opinion. It has to go through a senator or representative. So we did that process and then talked to Farley, and he said he would get us an answer. So getting an answer from the Attorney General I've never done it, so I don't know how long it'll take.
Or if they're even going to.
Correct. But Samantha did, at the end of her conversation, she says, I'm gonna refer you to your DA and let him answer that.
Okay, well, that brings us to the question of, the county is still waiting to hear what we're gonna do about addressing the shortcoming. And this morning, I met with Gail Dixon and talked to her about our taxes. She said the estimated average, right now on the half cent is $444,000 a year, and on the quarter cent, it's $204,000 a year, which is a total of $648,000. So if you only put the half cent towards the debt, like we asked, disregarding our agreement with the bank, that's gonna bring you a shortcoming between now and April 1st of $10,414 a month, or $93,725. So, as we've done in the past, we've urged you to try to look forward to this and address it as we go. So that amount now is $10,414 adjusted.
Well, that's something, Randy, I think we need to take up at the excise board meeting. Because like I say, by law, the excise board sets the budget. We just approve it. And as of right now, they are working on budgeting 40% of our last year's budget. And that's what we operate on until the budget is set. And that budget's not, that 40% is not set yet. But to answer that question, it could be better answered in the excise board meeting when all the books are open. And, cause they do it, Randy. I mean, by law, that's the way, that's the way it rolls. We just approve it.
What I'm trying to bring to light here is that every month that we don't do something about this, that payment gets higher. It's getting harder and harder to achieve. So, right now it's adjusted to what Gail's expectations is on the taxes, and this is just an estimate. But we're still going to need to save $10,400 a month and set it aside and earmark it to meet our obligations. That's with the half cent. If you put the 3/4 cent in, then it's going to generate $648,000, which would be $110,275 over what we're going to need. So I guess the county's still waiting to hear how we're going to address this debt and how we're going to keep from having a catastrophic failure and probably April 1st. We've got to devise a plan now.
Well, I've talked to Gail Dixon.
That's where I got these.
Right,
figures.
yeah, I know. And I talked to Gail, and we talked about this situation, and she even spoke to Farley. I mean, yeah, Randy, we'll have enough money to make that payment in April. I don't foresee that being a problem. But that's just a 1-year fix. We're gonna be taking away from our carryover every year we do that. We're just gonna be nipping away at it. And I know you're talking about saving, but that is all the money. That is the money that you would pull out to save. And come April, I don't think it's gonna be any problem making that payment. We'll just pull it out of the carryover if we have to. But what the problem's gonna be in 2 or 3 years, when your savings account is gone, is it may be 4 years, in my opinion, before we really get in the bind. But in 3 to 4 years, you're gonna hit the wall.
Harry Patton said 1 year.
Well, Kerry said 1 year, you would hit the wall, but I believe that we will have enough money looking at the carryover, and that is without any breakdowns at the courthouse, and without any breakdowns at the jail, and with no big major malfunctions. I'm confident we can make it 2 years. But
Is
after
that carryover not what your budget is, the 40% Paul, for the coming year? How are you gonna have that when that's what you operate off of?
Because, like Roger Ballard said, from July 1st, which we all know we're fixing to be there, to December, we're gonna need, I'd like to have 300,000 sitting there, but you could probably get by with 250. But we're gonna have more than that. And then we'll make it till the taxes are collected again. But you'll know your carryover when we set the budget. And I believe, you know, I know we're gonna have enough money to make the payment in April. But after that, without any more revenue, there won't be any money to save. There won't be any money to take out to save. You see what I'm saying? And that's without. And you better hope nothing goes wrong to jail or the courthouse.
I'd say 1 or 2 years would be more realistic.
Well, when I said 4, that's if you use the reserve money that Bank First holds without going into default. But I mean,
But then that has to be paid back.
Correct.
correct, it has to
You
be.
can't just,
I understand that, but you gotta understand, my point now, since there's not gonna be any more revenue come in, you just have to deal with the situation you're handed and what's looking at you. I mean, that's it, you're gonna eat up your reserve money. And then I guess, you know, by law, I mean, you could lay everybody off the sheriff's department except the sheriff and one deputy. By law, you could do that. And, you know, we could do away with the 2 custodians and the maintenance person.
you're talking about using that carryover, and I go back to Paul, that is your operating revenue.
I understand that. But the county, what I've been told by Nody and the CPA and Gail, which I would consider 3 qualified people, without more revenue, you're not gonna make it. So you just have to make the best decisions you can make from here to there. And see what happens.
Paul, how much is in the general fund right now?
You can run over and ask Gail right quick. But I did ask her what the carryover was gonna be, and she said there would be no way of knowing until the budget was set. Because come July 1st, we will clean up all the POs. And, you know, we will balance the books. I'm not saying it's gonna be July 1st, but, you know, we will start on it then.
So is that the only plan?
What other plan would you, what plan? That's the only
Well-
plan I have. I'm asking, does anybody out there have a plan?
Well, I guess I'm confused, but when I first started coming to these meetings, I believe they said, if you put back $5,600 and something a month, that we could do this, we could smooth things out. Well,
You may-
but to me, is there nowhere that you can cut back? Of course, now it's up to 10. Is that what it is now?
10,414.
Well, man, we laid 5 people off last year. We cut 5 jobs here last year. I mean, and I guess I'm gonna say this. I've been fortunate enough to be here 10 years. And I can't spend 30 minutes in here once a week explaining county government and how the budget works, because that's not enough time. That's why Nody Langsford, you know, we've had to put in many hours in these meetings. So I can't go over every single little bitty detail with you. But man, there's only so much money. You talking about pulling, that'd be like if you had $5,000 in your checking account and that's all the money you had in the world, and I told you to pull 10,000 out. So that's the question you're asking me.
Like, what I'm asking you, if there's no place you can cut.
Yes, you could probably cut a little bit, maybe a little bit. And like I said, yeah, we can do away with the sheriff's department. We can pay the sheriff and one deputy by law.
Isn't that about what you got working now? You don't have too many more than that.
You're probably about right on
Yeah,
that.
that's-
You're probably about right.
We're down about as thin as we can go.
We got 2 people working out there. You're probably right about that.
You mean there's absolutely no more places to cut? You're sitting here telling us that there's no place to cut.
Well, I'm
Zero.
telling you this, you can make some cuts, but it's not gonna be enough to fix the problems.
You gotta start somewhere.
How are we gonna pay for the central heat and air then?
I'm not saying we're gonna do it. I'm saying it's something we're gonna have to look out for. We can't have people up here working in mold, can we? In offices
No,
that
but-
stink because pipes are bursting and that water's running all over the floor. And then you create a problem. Well, now we have to buy new carpet.
But can't you look into, will your building insurance not cover?
We're working on grants. Rick brought up that point. That was a good point about
Will
it.
your building insurance not cover mold repair or?
Do you know what our deductible is through SIG SIP? It's not worth going through. Cause we're, ADCO, we have our, own-
Wait.
we're self-insured.
Your deductible's not worth going through, so we're just gonna replace the
Not
whole
when it
system?
costs, when your deductible's $25,000.
But you wanna put in
cleaning
a
up-
whole new system to
cleaning up the mold.
fix it. So,
You want me to see what?
Yeah, but if cleaning up the mold costs $20,000
Yeah,
and your deductible's $25,000, you're still $5,000 short.
Right,
So
right.
using the insurance wouldn't be it wouldn't be.
I'm sorry, did
profitable.
you have something to say?
Yeah, I thought I would give you satisfaction answering that.
Like,
You
I'm gonna
would
say
if you was an
something.
elected
Hang on,
official.
Johnny,
Uh,
I'm running this meeting. We don't need to get in any arguments or make any sly comments. Was asked a question.
Right, and I'm just
And I'm
curious.
telling you, you're asking me why we don't use insurance?
Yeah.
Because your deductible would be more than what the bill would be, I'm assuming, because our deductibles are extremely high. We're self-insured through ADCO.
Right.
And if you have a $25,000 deductible and you got an $18,000 bill,
Right.
well, then you can't use your insurance because you still like $7,000.
I understand
Okay.
that, but that's,
I thought that was your
I have
question.
to ask, that's why I'm
That's
asking.
cool.
You
All right.
know.
I hope I answered your question.
If y'all worried about mold and mildew up in the duct system, instead of replacing the central heat, the central air, because you're still gonna have the same problem, why don't you get a company to come out and clean the ductwork? Because they got companies that come out and they will actually
Because
clean
of the-
ducts.
The system down below causes us trouble constantly. And we're fortunate enough to have Ron that knows how to work on it. I'm not gonna say, it's an everyday deal in the winter. Every
Right.
morning you have to come in here about 6:30 and bang on it to make it work.
Take a hammer and beat on it, huh?
Yeah, and drain, well, you have to drain it,
Right?
and it takes a while for the building to heat up. But that's every morning. In the winter, when you come in here, you have to work on it.
I've
I'm
got a
not-
question.
Well, about your question, there is no ductwork in the courthouse.
What-
There's none that they,
There's
y'all
no
run off the chill
ductwork,
water
there's no
system.
central heat and air in the courthouse, period.
None. It runs off the chill water system.
It's all piping.
But
Okay.
the system that we have
Uh,
is, I don't know, I was told it was over 50-year-old. Now,
Yeah, it's time to replace.
I'm less than 50-year-old, so I don't know if it was there then or not, I don't know.
Yeah, if it's that old, it's time to replace it.
But, and I'm not saying we're doing it, I'm just saying it's something we could
Right.
look at,
Right.
just to look at.
Well, I got a question.
All right, we get 1 minute, we got to open these at 11.
That-
Go ahead.
It won't take,
All
no.
right.
Karen, that answer that you just said you wouldn't give her what?
Satisfaction,
Why?
because you're just nitpicking at everything we do.
We're asking you a simple question about whether insurance will cover the problems in the courthouse. Now, you tell me, no,
He was answering her.
but you didn't have any place to say that.
I
Well,
guess
then-
I got as much right as anybody does.
Yep, you're an elected official,
Yep.
and you need
I
to treat the people in this room with respect.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, you said that, but I answered her question, I hope I did. And let's move on and open these bids, and then Randy, when we open these bids, we'll get back to that.
That'd be fine.
Okay. Now Karen, where's that other agenda?
Here it is.
Okay, we're all gonna open bids for the Lee Choir Fire Department expansion. There's the specs and the legals and everything that was in the paper. Hometown Builders bids $26,800. Just stick it back in this envelope and you write it down. Like, and it's coming.
Howard Stormer Construction, $21,222.
Okay, and Mike Bush Construction bids $30,600.
Did you say they didn't have insurance?
I said they have to carry their own insurance.
Yes. So when they,
What was that, who was that from?
Mike Bush Construction, $30,600.
Howard Stormer.
Howard Stormer.
But they don't have to provide insurance till they, I think, we accept the deal most
Right.
time, then, yeah, they'd have to have that, sure. Is anybody here with the fire department, Lakewater Fire Department? Because they usually show up and they open the bid for the individual fire departments.
Remember that, like, you know, you did,
Well, Clark, it's not my district, your district, nobody's here from that fire department, but I'm gonna do, think we'll just accept the bid for 21-2. And, I mean, that's the low bid. I mean, that's in Marvin's district and
Can
it's,
we put it all
we can table it
till next
if
week?
you wanna make that
I'd
motion.
rather hear from somebody from the fire department.
Well, I would too, because we usually don't,
Is there exceptions to the bid? I mean, they're all three identical?
yes, they all went off what was in the paper, this right here. Facts, public notice. As long as it's time stamped and notarized. You want to wait,
Who
take
made the low bid? I mean, it don't matter.
Storm 21-2. I'm like you, I would rather somebody,
At least they have representatives.
every time they buy something, there's usually somebody here from that fire department representing them. So, I mean, we can table it, we can make a motion, to accept the low bid.
Could you table it? Get them to look at the game bids and see what their thoughts are?
Well,
Since it's going into-
I think that's what we should do, because it's the only second time in 10 years that one ain't been here whenever. So we'll just, I'll make a motion to table it till next Monday. Randy, Billboard Committee.
Would like committee to discuss this with numerous people and within ourselves, but we'd like to see some type of a plan or action from the commissioners as to how we're gonna address that debt in real numbers. Other than just saying the money's gonna be there, because if the money wouldn't be there this time, why wasn't it there in 2014? Why wasn't it there in 2015?
Because we hadn't chose to use the carryover, but we will, I'm assuming, we could have used, we sold the property. Now, we could have used the carryover, but I'm just saying, Randy, when we start using that carryover money,
I understand all
Okay.
that. What I'm asking is that we need to see a plan of action as to how we're gonna address this debt. Other than just talking about it and kicking it down the street, we need to get a plan and put it in place and then start doing it.
Well, I will have to get with the excise board, because they hold, and that's the way it's done through the whole state of Oklahoma, they hold the records and the books. And it's their responsibility to run the numbers, and I will get with them, but and I haven't talked to Frank much. I haven't talked any to the other two, but according to Frank, it's not gonna work. It'll work for a year, but, and I don't know that, I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers, I'm just saying, we can do it.
I mean, and the plan of action like that is gonna have to come into play when the budget's there, right?
Right, but we're fixing, you're right, but we're fixing to budget 40% of the money July 1st. So if that's the case, you know, we could budget 40% of that problem. But that's all you can budget. You could budget 40% of that problem. And when the budget is set, then the other 60%, you could budget that then.
Well, what we're trying to do is to avoid the same consequences that we went through before, and it's hard on everybody. And I know it's a tough decision, but we've got to start making some pretty soon, because this thing is rapidly growing bigger and bigger every month if we don't do something about it.
And I think we need to start finding something. We're going to have to start saving for 2024, because I'm not going to be here. In 2024, there's going to be one big whopper of a payment due.
$925,000.
And $925,000, and that's gonna be a whopper. And you talking about, I don't even know if our budget's not much bigger than that. I mean, you'd have to lay everybody in the courthouse off, and turn the lights out.
Well, here again, that should have been determined before we borrowed. That's actually $924 less $52,000. We have not, out of that $450,000, we actually only owe $398,000. So we're still gonna have to come up with $875,000.
Hey, did y'all look up there, that's when the excise board meets, when do they meet again? I can't see very far, but I sure can't see that. It's that piece of paper right there, that white one.
May 11th, Monday, May 11th, and then
And
May 18th and May 25th, if that's what it is.
That's
Go
the
on down.
2016 days. You're looking over on the right column in July, Monday the 11th.
Yeah.
July, is their next meeting?
No, they should have a,
They should have a meeting pretty quick.
yeah, they should have a.
I can't see, but-
20th, yeah, they have a 20th.
June,
You said June?
20th of June. That's next week.
Don't they do next month, the meeting?
We can meet, I can meet with them next week, next Monday. I mean, they're here at 9 o'clock, 8:30. They're here at 8:30 next Monday.
Is it an open, I'm sorry, is it open to everyone?
It's an open meeting. I mean, it's open to everybody.
I'm sorry.
In the meantime, we need to be talking to the excise board so that they have a plan of action when they come here as well. And it's time, we've been walking all around this and we've been able to do nothing about it. And it's time that it's getting really serious. We're gonna have to do something somehow. And I'd recommend that you look at state statutes in your commissioner's handbook as to what will be left open, what stays open, and what is operated. But it's something that we're gonna have to address right now. We need to be thinking about some means of outside fundraisers or any other avenues that we can raise the money to pay this debt. Because we will have to pay the debt. It's not an
Well,
option.
it's gonna
not
be
an option
paid.
for the county's well-being to go into default or anything else. Since the avenue of the sales tax is gone away, we need to start addressing this debt because we are going to be faced with it, and it's a lot easier to achieve this amount now than it is to achieve the whole thing at the end of the term. Other than that, Paul, when was the last time you went to jail?
Randy, I appreciate that question, but I'm gonna decline to answer that.
Clark.
It's been a while, I don't know the date.
The committee would also like for y'all to start inspecting the jail as you agreed to in the resolution. And we greatly appreciate that you look at it on a weekly basis. It's the largest institution that we have in the county, and it's one that holds the biggest debt, and it seems to be the most costly to operate. So if y'all could, find the time, please go by there and examine it, I mean, walk through it, look at it, talk to the people, and see what their needs are.
I'll tell you
Is that
this,
agreeable?
I will be out there this evening, I will say that. After lunch, whatever you call this evening.
Anybody else have anything?
I have new business.
So we're gonna get that in just a
Okay.
second.
There are a couple of questions. I was unable to be here last week, and I did watch the video. Couple of questions that I would like to address. There was a gentleman, and I'm sorry I could not see his face, that said he had been in our office and we didn't know there were other items on the ballot.
No.
That was not me. We're all aware there's other items on the ballot. I don't know why that was said like it was, but we are all aware that there is an election going on in this county for county offices. And so our office is aware that there are other items on the ballot other than this county question. I have contacted the state in regard to this county question because I understand that it was determined last week that it is not filed under the right statute, whatever, whoever wrote it up, it's anyway irrelevant. It wasn't filed under the right statute when it was filed with our office. I contacted the state election board, and of course, it's like I told Paul last week when I spoke with him, it's already on the ballot. The ballots are already printed. They're already out there. And you know, some of you have voted absentee already. Ballots are in. We have absentee ballots that are actually already returned. So the notion that the ballot just be pulled is a farce. It cannot be pulled. The ballot is out there. The ballots will be voted as they are. The state election board said that when I first spoke with the first person I talked with, said they didn't even know really for sure exactly how that would all play out, how we would do this. So, but later I got a call back, and what will happen is we will run the ballots just like they come in. We have to run the numbers. It's going to be on the tape totals. It's going to say, you know, if someone voted that ballot, it's going to be voted on the tape totals. Every report, everything, we'll have that on there. The only thing that it will show up on that it was done away with will be on our certification page. And when we get to certification on Friday following the election, they're going to have it figured out how to remove that portion only of the ballot for certification. So that county question will be removed from the certification page on Friday. Now, it will be on all the unofficial. If somebody comes in the office and just wants to see stuff, if they don't answer the right thing, it's going to look like they went through. So it's just really important for everybody to be aware that it will be on everything except the official certification page. So going forward in future years, if you want to look back at this, it's going to be there. It's going to be on
So
everything.
my question that the public's asked me, so you're telling me it's gonna show how many people voted yes and no, and that will be public knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just had people ask me that, and I said, well, I don't know, and I didn't, but now I do.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Except for the official certification on
Right.
Friday, where it will be removed
I
from the, and the question was also asked about how much money that it was gonna cost if we were gonna have to reprint ballots. Well, obviously, that just answered that question. You don't have to reprint ballots. It is on the actual ballot, it's on the ballots with the candidates that are running, so there's not an extra expense there. The only expense that will be incurred, because we still have to pay precinct officials, we still have to pay polling place rentals for every polling place. The only place that it will cost anything at all was on one particular set of ballots where it was just that county question, which was for independent voters or libertarian voters. That ballot, there was, I think, 550. Anyway, wound up, it's less than $100. It's about $80 that those will just be trashed. And the state actually advised us that we could go ahead and put them out in case people are concerned that, well, they're getting to vote on that and I'm not. So it's a, whatever we decide in our office, whether we want to put it out or not put it out. But if those ballots are trash, that, like I said, they'll be about $80 or so, between $80 and $100 on that.
Do you post any
Just right.
signage at the voting places? This,
Yes, every precinct always posts their tape totals on the
no,
door.
I mean, will you post somewhere there that that is a null and void thing? If voting.
I think everybody knows that by now.
If people don't mark it, will it void their ballot if
No.
they don't mark? Okay.
No, if they have it may say that it's an undervoted ballot and it may kick it back out, but you can put it right back in and if you need help with it, if anybody needs help with that, they can ask for a precinct official and they will help them make sure that it gets.
Because I'm thinking some people are just not going to mark it because they're going to think, well, it's not even, and so,
Right,
you know.
right.
But you won't post signage in each precinct?
No.
Can you do that? Can you
We
post
don't,
signage?
no, we don't have anything, the only thing that we have in our office is, we run the election as is brought to us, and that's what we have. And that's on the ballot, and that is there. We will have to have something actually instructing us before the certification not to certify those ballots, otherwise they'll be certified. We have to have something in writing from the county commissioners or the DA or whoever that tells us not to certify ballot, or else it will be certified.
But another thing, while we're on the election committee, everybody that has signs right across the road, this courthouse is a voting poll place, and those signs need to come down before the election. I mean, if you want to step it off and measure the distance, those really aren't legal.
Rhonda?
I haven't measured it, I don't know.
I mean, I haven't
How
measured
many
it.
voting stations is there?
11 polling places.
And y'all can't put a sign up saying?
We
that-
can't, because we can't decide it's illegal or that it's not gonna be counted.
Well,
It doesn't
what
say
difference
so.
it make? It's not gonna, it doesn't matter
We have
if it
to have
passes,
it in
don't,
writing
I mean, it's
from
not gonna
them. We
pass.
can't do it. In fact, we
I
have
just
to write it.
didn't know if you couldn't just put a sign up saying that
If we
it
had-
wasn't gonna count.
I don't believe, yeah, that ain't, I don't think that's legal. It what, it doesn't really matter though, John, I mean, it's all non-void anyway. If there's not any more discussion.
Not just, I will say, there's been a lot of question about the signs across the road. It's within 300 feet of any polling place in any direction. So, and I haven't, it's not necessarily 300 feet of the front door at the courthouse. It's 300 feet of a polling location. And we do have 2 polling locations here, one over at OSU and the absentee in person, of course.
So
is
that's
in-
probably
in
farther
our-
than 300 foot.
In our building, so.
I know they had to pull something out of Enterprise one year and they pulled it.
No.
down.
You go to Amazon. Okay. Because I knew it was something across the road, so.
Okay. But the new business, I think this lady here has some new business.
I've been researching an animal shelter, the need for one, and there is a need for one. And so I'm ready to go forward with getting it put out there and in the newspaper, on the news, fundraising, and the whole nine. Get it going. I'll write the grant for it.
I wish you well with that, because it's a good thing to have.
I'm ready to go with it, if it's okay with y'all.
It's okay with me.
Okay.
Sure.
Is it county connected some way? I mean, why do you need their approval?
Well, you have to get approval from the county commissioners for new business, I guess. That's what I thought.
Well, did you ever find a piece of property to put that shelter on?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I actually do want to work with the county on it. And I actually just put a job application in this morning to work for the courthouse as a program representative.
And who pays you?
Well, I know,
Put
I
it in
know.
the grant or?
Yeah, I know how to, write grants and invest money. And, I have a plan.
I'd say all right, is there any other new business?
You're great.
If not any new business, I'm gonna make.
Okay, if we've got two agendas, can we all have a correct agenda?
There's one there, I'm assuming. This is the one that was posted on the. Alright. No more new business, I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn.